And welcome to the spectacular Guangxi Sports Center in Nanning, China for the 45th Artistic Gymnastics World Championships. Today, we feature the individual all-around competition for the men. The top 24 gymnasts in the world have qualified to this competition. I'm Bart Connor, along with my fellow Olympic gold medalist Amanda Borden. Excited to bring you the action today in the floor exercise. These 6 gymnasts will start, including Danelle Wittenberg, and Kohei Uchimura is in that group of the top 6 qualifiers from earlier competition here in China. The next group of qualifiers will open up on the pommel horse.
We all know this is a tough place to start, very similar to the balance beam. They need to control their adrenaline. They want a strong start, so it's all about staying on this event.
The third group of 6 athletes will open up on the rings. It's essentially a 4-ring circus, 4 events going simultaneously. U.S. Sam Mikulak will be 5th up on the rings in that first rotation, the 2-time reigning U.S. champion. And then the 4th group of 6 athletes will open up on the exciting vault.
One of my favorite events to watch in the men's competition, because you'll see some high-flying action and a variety of different vaults.
Of course, the man to be at the World Championships is King Kohei Uchimura, who has won 4 times the gold medal in the all-around. Never been done before in the history of gymnastics. And when you think of the legendary Japanese gymnastics over many, many years, the top of the list is that gentleman right there. Last year in Antwerp, Belgium, Sam Mikulak had a shot at a podium finish for the United States. He was 3rd place going into the high bar, and he was unlucky.
And then struggled through this routine. It was so tough to watch. This is a great event for him. In fact, he finished 4th in the individual event final, so it was hard to watch him struggle in that event, so I know he's here to redeem himself.
It was a heartbreaker for Sam Mikulak. He dropped to 5th after that botched high bar routine. Clearly, a chance at a podium finish was squandered. And then it was, of course, Uchimura, who made it all academic when he stepped up to the high bar, as he has done time and time again, and delivered high degree of difficulty, spectacular technique, and perfect execution to earn his 4th gold medal as the reigning world champion. Gold medal for Uchimura, his teammate Kato the silver, Fabian Hambuchen of Germany the bronze, and Sam Mikulak finished in 6th for the United States. How good is Uchimura? Well, he's the 2013 World All-Around Champion, the Olympic All-Around Champion, 5-time Olympic medalist, and as of these championships, he's now the 14-time world medalist because he won a medal with the Japanese team 2 days ago. Undefeated since 2008. Let's see if he can do it again today. We'll start the competition with the men on the floor, and first up will be China's Chung Ran. Don't go away. The top 24 gymnasts on the planet set to compete at the World Championships. Gold, silver, and bronze on the line today. Chung Ran of China already has a gold medal, as he was a member of the gold medal winning Chinese team a couple of days ago. He's just 19 years of age, competing in his first World Championships.
Well, he has an action-packed routine, but he made a mistake on this tumbling pass in the team finals. Watch this. 3.5, right to front full, much better.
We noted that in the team competition, the Chinese men got off to a rough start on floor and pommel horse, but roared back on rings and all the way through high bar to win by 1/10 of a point over Japan. It was a thrilling team competition. So far, every final here in Nanning has just been outstanding.
passes up to this point.
It's interesting what a balanced all-around gymnast he is, and yet in the team competition where you compete just 3 up, 3 count, he only participated in floor and vault for China. Of course, floor was where he had that fall, and it really cost him.
He has tremendous power, which is one of the reasons he made the mistake, but also why he is so great on this event, finishing triple fold, nailing the landing.
His chest was down a little bit, but boy, did he float it.
Well, you could see he was really fighting for that. He performed in front of his home crowd and made that mistake. Well, not today.
We'll see if there's any residual effect from the exhaustion of that thrilling team final a couple of days ago. Now, Andrei Likovitsky from Belarus will take to the pommel horse, the 28-year-old former Russian national team member who now represents Belarus.
In the qualification round, he scored a 15.333 on this event. Nice form throughout, body alignment.
The program in Belarus is not as strong as the program in Russia, and I think he felt like he may not make the Russian team, so literally he switched countries and moved to Belarus and represents them in major international competitions. There's been a lot of transitions among the Russian athletes. Some have moved to Ukraine, some have moved from Ukraine to Russia, and one in fact had moved to Azerbaijan, all in the last couple of years.
Well, that was a solid start. Can be very difficult to be first up on this event.
He was 8th in the all-around at the World Championships last year.
Gives you a great angle, how precise. The athletes that make this event in the finals have beautiful form and technique, but most importantly, they can stay on the event when it matters.
Score for Chung Rong, a 15.3. Great start for him in his all-around effort here, World Championships. And he score over 15 is pretty darn remarkable. Donnell Wittenberg will be next up, the American who had a fantastic competition in qualification here. He qualified 4th into this all-around final. Let's see if he can put it together for a podium finish for the U.S. today.
Big opening tumbling combination, finishing with that double front. He's been very consistent on this event.
And he has an insane amount of difficulty.
Wow.
6.8 degree of difficulty in qualification.
And he's hit this routine 2 times already. Scores right around 15.3.
Of course, he was a part of that bronze medal team finish for the U.S. men a couple of days ago here, and the U.S. guys went 18 for 18, had an incredible team competition, and with the best in the world present, including China and Japan, the U.S. rightfully took that bronze medal spot on the podium.
Wow, tremendous power.
Originally out of Baltimore, Maryland, now he trains at the U.S. Olympic Training Center with Vitaly Marinich, who's a former champion of the Soviet Union. Look at that dismount.
Wow. Outstanding, tremendous power on all of his passes, high-flying flips, and great landings today.
Likovitsky, a 15.333, a great start on the pommel horse. Max Whitlock. Now, this is an interesting story. The British gymnasts are doing quite well, but Max had a difficult day of competition in qualification and was beat out by 2 of the British teammates. In fact, Niall Wilson, the 18-year-old upcoming superstar, beat out Max Whitlock. But Niall mentioned that he had a sore wrist, and so he is scratched from competitions. So Max Whitlock goes in as a reserve today. Let's see what he can put together.
Well, he is outstanding on this event. Nice form and control.
Normally spectacular on this event. He had a rough go in qualification. Not his best effort. Nicely done for Max Whitlock, the 22-year-old. who got the call to step in as a replacement.
And that's not always easy to do. You're the alternate, you think you might. Well, he got the call and started his competition out with a bang.
Danielle Wittenberg, a little bit sloppy on the landings. High degree of difficulty, but gave away some valuable tens of points by hopping around so much. You see his score there. Dong Shudi will be next up on the floor exercise, the 23-year-old from China. He was the only gymnast on the Chinese team that actually did the all-around during the team final.
Which means that he's doing 3 full days of all-around competition. Wow.
3.5 twists. Amazing.
We both, our jaws were still down. See so many twisting passes, incredibly done in combination. Really helps in the difficulty score. Remember, half the score is from difficulty. Start from 0. Do elements like that combined, they earn points. The other half is the execution. That starts from a 10.0, and they subtract any deductions from the form breaks, like you mentioned in the landings on this event.
It's interesting that some gymnasts choose to do things like lay out double doubles, which is an individual trick with big point value. Other gymnasts choose to do these combination tumbling moves with twisting elements to rack up bonus points. Either way, you can still score a significant start value if you put together the right composition.
And a lot of it depends on the athlete. You see the very powerful athletes like Danielle Wittenberg do those big passes. Here we see a lot of twisting happening.
Wow, another triple full at the end.
Nice routine.
Normally he scores in the mid-15s on floor exercise. Had a 15.666 in the team competition.
We talked about the endurance of performing at 3 all-around competitions. Well, this event, it could affect him. No problem. There's a 3.5 twist to that punch front. Let's see how tight, precise, nice body position. Spots the ground. It can be very difficult if you're a little forward or a little behind on those connections. They're very easy to miss, so strong start for him.
And look at that, a 16 for Max Whitlock.
Wow.
He was rewarded for going for a high degree of difficulty on pommel horse. Over 7-point start value. Dong Shudi, 15.3, good start for his effort in the all-around. Sam Mikulik will be up now on the rings for the United States. Sam did not have his best competition in qualification, was a little shaky on floor, parallel bars, and high bar, but did well enough to qualify into today's final. Qualified in 13th spot.
Scored just under a 15 in the qualification round. See tremendous strength on this event. Control.
He was a part of the U.S. Olympic effort in 2012 in London, took 5th place as a member of the team, and he was a vault finalist where he placed 5th as well.
Today's really going to be all about consistency for him. Obviously, the national champion, very capable of putting 6 events together.
He said his goal is to increase the level of difficulty so that he can match Uchimura in time for the 2016 Olympics in Rio. He trails Uchimura in terms of difficulty by about 2 points, but a great effort there and a spectacular dismount.
Beautiful. Nice form throughout that entire routine.
Here is the man, the 25-year-old world champion. No gymnast has ever won 5 world all-around medals of any color. Can he win another one today? Stuck there.
It just is absolutely amazing, and we talk about it every time we watch him, but the reason he can do that is he has some of the best technique you'll ever see in men's gymnastics. When you combine technique with good training, that's where you get perfection. 3 so far have been nailed.
is uncanny on how he puts his feet down. And you're right, it has to do with technique and power. But there's also a special sense that not every gymnast has. He just seems to know how to absorb the floor and control that landing.
We've always talked about one thing that makes him so great at competition is he seems very calm under pressure. When he is a little off, he's patient, waiting for the position.
And you talk about pressure, enormous expectations on this gentleman because everybody in the world thinks he should win.
And everybody wants to beat him.
Again!
It doesn't get much better than that. He has a 6.6 in difficulty on this event. I mean, execution, hands down, will be 9+, which, like we always talk about, if you're 8-8 or better, that's a phenomenal routine.
14.8 for Sam Mikulak, his opening effort on the rings.
Oh boy, Bobby!
And Uchimura looking cool. You wondered if he would be disappointed after the team competition when Japan finished 1/10 of a point behind China. They truly felt that they had done enough to win the gold, but here at home, China poured it on in the final rotation to win the gold. Japan disappointed with the silver, but it doesn't look like it's affected Uchimura. He is here to compete today.
You can see that beautiful alignment in the air, nice straight body positions right there. He spots the ground, gives himself plenty of time to find that balance and nail the landing. He had a variety of combination passes. That's what earns him those difficulty points.
He's such a likable gymnast. I mean, even though he's been dominating the sport and undefeated since 2008, he's very humble and critical of himself. Amazing.
It's fun to watch because he's so serious before the competition starts, and then you see the smile and another big score.
What a start, 15-7-6-6, but the leader is Max Whitlock after that effort on the pommel horse. So even King Kohei finds himself not on top of the leaderboard at this point. Yusuke Tanaka be the final person in this first group of gymnasts. Tanaka has had just an incredible competition here in China.
Nice opening tumbling pass. See similar combination passes. Those slight hops on the landing.
Talk about how good the all-around gymnasts are from Japan. They have 3 of the best all-around gymnasts in the world here. And this is an era of specialists where gymnasts specialize in 2, 3, maybe even 4 events. But Tanaka beat out his teammate, Ryohei Kato, for a spot in this all-around final. And Kato won the silver medal at last year's World Championships.
They have so much depth on their team this year that he actually didn't even compete in the all-around in the team final. He only competed on 3 of the events. Finishing here, triple full. Very nice.
I just marvel at the execution. The expectations in terms of focusing on perfection on the Japanese team are just mind-boggling.
Well, a lot of it is that beautiful body alignment. Anybody that watches a lot of gymnastics truly appreciates that beautiful technique, and it really stands out. You see some great power in men's competition, but when there's power and technique combined, it is absolutely beautiful to watch. Strong finish to that routine.
And so the 24-year-old from Wakayama, Japan, gets a 15.2. He doesn't have the same degree of difficulty, but his execution is impeccable. And when we come back to Nanning, we'll move on to the second rotation and update you on the standings. Welcome back to the Artistic Gymnastics World Championships, the men's all-around final. Max Whitlock, after that outstanding 16.0 on pommel horse, the leader after the first of 6 rotations. Danelle Wittenberg from the United States currently in 9th. Sam Mikulak tied for 11th after their first round of competition. All the athletes will move to the next event in Olympic order. So the floor exercise gymnast will move to the pommel horse will move to the rings to the vault, and the vault moves to the parallel bars. So Dong Shudi, who we saw on the floor earlier, will now take to the pommel horse.
He's been very consistent on this event. Qualification round and in the team final. Scored in the mid-14s.
And of all the gymnasts in today's all-around final, he does the most difficult routines. In fact, his start values, if you add them all up, 39.8 is the degree of difficulty he's going for. Oh, no! An uncharacteristic error on that scissor up to a handstand. I'll finish my thought. He's doing even 1.1 more difficulty than Uchimura. He goes for hard stuff.
Held on to it and fought through it.
I just wonder if some of the exhaustion is showing up now from that draining team competition a couple of days ago.
Well, that's definitely a factor. You have to remember, this is his third day of doing the all-around competition. That is a lot. His difficulty score was the biggest hit there, along with that execution. He went down to a 6.0 in difficulty.
13.833. Unlucky on the pommel horse for Dong Shudi. David Belyavsky will be up next. Qualified second into this all-around final. This is his 4th world championship, and he's just 23 years of age. His best finish in the all-around was back in 2011. He was 6th place.
This is the event that always makes or breaks the competition. Very nice.
Love that full care on one arm. The Russian team had some trouble in the team final on pommel horse. So let's see what you can come up with here.
This event, very important. You kind of find your rhythm. Make one little mistake on one skill, and of course affects the rest of the routine. So far, it's been solid.
Very nice.
Nice finish.
We move to the rings now, where 21-year-old Oleg Vernyayev from Donetsk, Ukraine, is set to go. He had a great opening round on the pommel horse, 15.233. There's something interesting to note. Most of the other top competitors in today's all-around competition competed in the team final. Ukraine didn't make the team final, so he is likely to be the freshest in terms of energy of the top qualifiers here today.
And he's gotten to do some training versus competing. Those that were competing didn't get to train necessarily, so making up those few extra little details.
And he is really among the most balanced gymnasts in the world. He has an ideal body frame for doing well in gymnastics because he's lean, strong, light, and yet he's still quite powerful.
Nice combination work.
Qualified in 7th position coming in today's all-around final. I mentioned gymnasts moving around from the former Soviet republics. He was in fact invited to move to Azerbaijan, and a lucrative salary was offered to him, but he chose to stay at home. Oh no!
Big dismount there, and you can see he is extremely disappointed with that. That was a strong routine.
It's
and
a
really,
huge
that's
double-double.
That was all that was left. Showed nice strength elements, nice body positions. They make it look easy, but that is incredible strength. Here's where the mistake happened. Just overshot it a little bit. Got those feet slightly underneath him, and it's that quick. Steps back, and of course the hand went down as well.
Which is an additional half a point deduction in addition to the steps. So unfortunate start there on the rings for him. Belyavsky 15.133, consistent so far today. Uchimura now to the pommel horse.
It was interesting when we looked at his results, obviously the man to beat in this all-around competition, but he only qualified on one individual event. I think that's an interesting point. The best in the world are consistent across the board. They may not be the best on every single event, but it's this level of consistency.
This is really the era of the specialists. So most of the individual event qualifiers, typically specialists on those apparatus. Great job for the cool, calm Uchimura.
I love his expressions after the routine is over. Like I said, he comes up, he's stoic, he's serious, and then you get the fist pump and the smiles.
He's the idol of many of the gymnasts in this building. Even the Chinese competitors admit that they look up to Uchimura.
Well, it's not just his technique, but I think every athlete admires somebody that can handle the pressure and is as consistent as he is.
And you got to believe each of these world championships gets tougher and tougher because the expectations are enormous.
Expectations of winning, but also the skill level increases. And to be undefeated since 2008, unbelievable.
Bernyayev, 14.333, a missed opportunity for a gentleman who hopes to finish on the podium today. Uchimura, 15.133. Solid as expected. His teammate Tanaka will take to the pommel horse now. Tanaka qualified in 6th spot into today's finals. He's a rather famous Olympic family. His brother is here as an alternate on the men's team. His sister, Rie, was a member of the women's Japanese team at the Olympics in London. So in London, all 3 of those family members competed for Japan. Wouldn't you be a proud mom or dad?
Oh, I was just thinking their mother must have been stressed out having to watch.
Oh, no!
Wow. Great fight there.
And he didn't even break form when he hit the horse. He just kept going.
We talk about how much fight is in these athletes. They make those mistakes and they do whatever it takes to stay on the equipment. Obviously, it is a deduction, but it's much better than coming off the equipment. He held on.
The lowest score for him in the qualifying round was on the pommel horse. He had only a 14.508. And he doesn't quite have the level of difficulty as some of the other gymnasts. Typically, he has excellent form. See what the judges do with this routine. .9, so 0.6 of a point less than his score in qualifying. He doesn't seem too fazed by it. Sergio Sasaki, exciting young gymnast from Brazil, 23-year-old. A lot of hopes for this young man in the next couple of years as the Olympics will be in Rio. Oh!
Huge power.
And Brazil is a team on the rise. They were 13th at the 2011 Worlds. They're 6th here in team competition. Great effort for Sasaki. Of course, we'll all be excited to go to Rio in a couple of years and experience the Olympics down there for the first time in South America. Parallel bars now. Lucimar Calvo of Colombia, the 20-year-old.
Nice save there. Really important. Judges looking for that nice vertical line. See a variety of different skills. Top of the bar, turning, as well as under the bar. Big swinging elements.
He was a contender for a medal at the World Championships last year in Belgium. But had a scary fall on the high bar. Oh, nice dismount. A full twisting double back off the end of the parallel bars.
We typically see off the side, so it's fun to watch.
15.6 for Calvo. And when we come back to Nanning, we'll update the standings after the second rotation. Don't go away. Let's take a look at the all-around standings after 2 events. Kohei Uchimura, Max Whitlock, and David Beliavsky, the top 3 at this point in the competition. American Sam Mikulak in 8th after his first 2 apparatus. Danielle Wittenberg from the U.S. in 16th out of the top 24 gymnasts in the world competing in today's all-around final. All the athletes move to the next rotation in Olympic order. Of course, the man firmly in control right now is Kohei Uchimura. Great effort on floor where he stuck every single landing. Clean effort on the pommel horse. He'll move to the rings. As this group moves to the high bar, Josimar Calvo from Colombia. We just saw him a few minutes ago on parallel bars. I mentioned that he had a crazy, scary fall last year at the World Championships. He came back in the finals, hit his high bar routine. He was so relieved, he kissed the apparatus.
That's right.
You'll see why.
Yeah, he finished 5th in that event finals last year.
He goes for crazy difficulty. 7.2 is his start value if he does all the moves he has planned in his program.
Big release right there with the full twist. Over the bar. You can hear this event always wows the crowd. High flying, lots of action. Keeps you on the edge of your seat the whole time.
Swings very aggressively. Late in the routine, another Kovacs over the top of the bar. It's a double backflip to recatch.
He looked like he had perfect distance. Really important on those major releases to get the dowel over the bar, but all that's left is the dismount. Very nice. I think he packed that routine with all the difficulty. Has to be proud of that.
Oleg Vernyayev now. We saw him stumble on his landing on the rings. He has an outstanding vault here. It's called a Dragulescu, invented by the famous Romanian gymnast. It's a double front with a half twist. Let's see if he can put this one on his feet.
Takes a tremendous amount of power. Look at the height. Very nice.
Most gymnasts just barely make it around. He dropped out of it, didn't he?
Well, that's important to have time to finish that turn and nail the landing, and that's exactly what he did.
Calvo, a respectable 15.233. Having a solid day so far. Let's take a look at the vault of Vernyayev. He's able to get into such a tight tuck. He can rotate quickly, and that allows him to spot that landing at the end.
Tremendous power. You can see how much height he has. He's able to completely finish that turn. Nice distance. Let's see, beautiful rotation. Just that small step back.
Young man celebrated his 21st birthday here in Nanning. So great recovery after a stumble on the rings dismount. High expectations for Vernyayev, as there are for Beliavsky, who is also a podium contender.
He's had a very consistent day so far. Starting on floor and pommel horse, he scored 15.133 on both of those events. And now to the still rings.
Although he's a very clean gymnast, in terms of difficulty, this is the event where he doesn't quite have the strength and the start value of some of the other top contenders.
With the new scoring system, the one thing he can focus on then is his execution. Some athletes have the difficulty in compromise execution. If you don't have difficulty, you gotta focus in on your form and the details of the routine. Nice job there.
It's a good point, and that's where he really shines. He's so clean, good rhythm and style, even though he's not doing outrageous difficulty. He's ensuring that his execution points will be maximized. There's a big dismount, though. Look at this.
Laid
Nice.
out double-double.
It's so hard to do a laid-out double-double at the end of a ring routine, and he drills it. Vernyayev 15.4 out of a vault that starts from a 16.0. So he got a great score there.
Mentioned he didn't have the difficulty, but what he did well here. Nice strength elements. Judges looking for that control. Strong body positions. But he definitely left a positive impression right here, finishing with a difficult dismount and a strong landing.
So the 23-year-old from Russia, who lost his parents at an early age, was raised by his grandmother, is having a very solid competition throughout. So far, he's done floor, pommel horse, and rings consistently. The score on the rings, 14.7 at the halfway point in today's competition. Don't go away. We'll update the results when we come back. The men's all-around final continues here from the Guangxi Sports Center in Nanning, China. I'm Bart Connor along with Amanda Borden. Kohei Uchimura now steps up to the rings.
Nice start. We talk about his build and how perfect it is for this sport. On this event, he has a 6.4 in difficulty. But there again, it's his execution.
Like he struggled a little bit in that uprise to Maltese. We made this comment earlier, but when you think about podium training, qualifications, team finals, I mean, these gymnasts have been doing a lot of gymnastics over the last week. And most of it in pressure situations like this. You wonder if the fatigue is going to continue to show.
Well, he's demonstrated year after year that he can handle it, but he's getting older. It does get harder.
Oh, and another stuck landing. How does he do it?
No problem for him. Wow.
Unbelievable.
It's amazing because he's not just proving it here. He wants to continue to go on shooting for the 2020 Olympics. And when you watch him, he makes it look so easy. You think, I think it's not going to be a problem.
And folks, he has stuck every landing so far to the halfway point in this competition.
And one of those events, the floor exercise, which is not easy because there's multiple landings within that routine.
Max Whitlock is having a great day for Great Britain, the 22-year-old. We saw his incredible performance of a 16.0 on pommel horse. Let's see what he does on vault. This is a new vault for him. Oh!
Wow.
Terrific.
What a story. This is just so fun to watch. I'm pretty sure he was disappointed when he didn't qualify into the finals. Then he gets a second chance. And is he making the most of this chance or what? Look at this vault. Incredible. Nice power. You have to have enough height and enough rotation to complete all of those twists. And he stayed in the bounds and put a solid landing on it. Very impressive.
He's just been working on this vault recently. He has a whole range of vaults that he can do, but that triple twister will score big. Uchimura, another solid 15. You rarely see him score below 15. He's such a balanced gymnast on all 6 events. His teammate, Yusuke Tanaka, now at a 6-1 start value and a 15.3 in qualification. He, of course, was a member of the Olympic team in 2012 that earned the silver medal, and he was a high bar finalist as well. He's got a move named after him. There's a Kip V. And he does another variation of that move. It's called a Honma to a V, and that's the Tanaka.
To get the value of these elements, do they have to hold it for a certain amount of time?
2 seconds is required to hold the position steady to get full credit. how locked out his arms are in those handstands.
Right into the dismount.
Oh, I like that.
Nice routine.
That double backflip within the rings, called a gutsogi, through to one giant and a double-double at the end. Great swing. 15-3-6-6. Max Whitlock stepped in as a reserve athlete to replace his teammate Niall Wilson. He's having a great day so far.
Yeah, and he's holding on to that second place ranking, which is not an easy thing to do, especially with the performances from the Japanese. Tanaka on the still rings. Nice execution throughout this routine. And for both him and Uchimura, it's really been a testament of consistency for them.
And look at the form. Knees together, toes pointed throughout the double-double. I can't emphasize enough how much I admire this team for clean execution in this day and age when difficulty reigns over everything. 14.733 for Tanaka. Solid at the halfway point in the competition for him as well. When we come back, the fourth rotation, can Uchimura win his 5th gold medal? Let's take a look at the standings at the halfway point in today's men's all-around final. Uchimura followed closely by Max Whitlock and Josimar Calvo of Colombia. It's not often that you see a Colombian in a top 3 spot in the all-around. Good for him. Top 24 gymnasts in the world competing today on all 6 events. All scores added together. Sam Mikulak from the U.S. there in 18th place. So we move now to the vault, where David Beliavsky is set to go.
Performing a very exciting vault. Soup double pike should be worth more than a 6.0, but the difficulty score.
So hard. He's currently tied for 4th in the all-around with Vernyayev from Ukraine.
Tremendous power.
Oh,
wow.
Amazing.
Such a big vault. It is difficult to land, as you can see. Tremendous power, and of course you're flipping till your feet pretty much hit the ground. He leaves the table off of his hands. Of course, you can see how much power into that board. Completely compresses it. Nice height off the table. Holds on to that landing. Did see his foot go out of bounds there, so that is 1/10 of a deduction.
15.033. Having a very good day. 59.999 in the all-around. The current leader, of course, is Uchimura. Both of his parents were gymnasts, by the way, so he grew up in a gym. Started at the age of 3, and now at 25, shooting for his 5th gold medal in the all-around at the World Championships.
Beautiful twisting vault.
Are you kidding me?
He does it again.
Another stuck landing.
I think he's impressed with himself right now. Well, you know, you have to say how important it is. There are 6 events. And one step can be 3/10 of a deduction. Add that up over 6 events. That's 1.8 that he's saving himself. And if any of the other athletes started putting landings on, they could get closer to him. Look at this vault. Beautiful form in the air, but that is what is so impressive. Everybody in the entire building watching him is going, wow.
I think even he was impressed with that effort. Unbelievable. He says he admires Usain Bolt because Usain says, I'm a legend and I'm going to go out and prove it. Of course, Uchimura is a lot more humble than that, but he is certainly legendary in the world of gymnastics. As we go now to the high bar, Sergio Sasaki having a great day. Currently in 6th in the all-around coming into this rotation.
He upgraded his high bar routine from the qualification to the team finals. See if he can get all those skills packed into this routine. Big release, up and over the bar, nice catch. Nice combination. Lots of speed going into the dismount. Wow. That
What a
is
competition.
that is a big routine for him. He put the difficulty in, was able to hold on to it, decent execution, and nailed the landing.
And Uchimura, 15.633, keeps him solidly in first place in the all-around. Sasaki should get a good score. Brazil finished 6th in the team competition here. Of course, high expectations for the team from Brazil with the Olympics in Rio just a couple of years away.
We had lots of great difficulty throughout. Look at that release move. And see, they catch some of those right at the bottom of the swing almost. So important that they're precise. But this is where he made his mark. Beautiful, laid out, double-double, and nailed it. You know, it's such a great feeling as an athlete. They train day after day in pursuit of perfection. So when they nail it like that at a World Championships, it's a big deal.
And the Brazil team really coming on here. 15.066. Sasaki currently in 3rd in the all-around. Moved up from 6th at this point in the rotation. We turn our attention back to Oleg Vernyayev now. He is amazing on the parallel bars. Let's see what he can put together. At a 6.9 degree of difficulty in the qualifying round, scored a 15.766.
Definitely on a mission here. He had that struggle early on the still rings. Beautiful. See how quick and sharp he swings to that perfect handstand.
You know, the key in gymnastics is your strength to weight ratio. And he has an ideal strength to weight ratio because he's small and light, but enormously strong. That's why he's able to do these long, complicated routines, which thus ease.
And then you add beautiful body alignment. Really stands out on this event. Dismounting double front half.
Another stuck landing.
This competition is getting close. These athletes know how important it is to fight for every 10th.
Daniel Wittenberg. High expectations for this young man who does a high degree of difficulty nearly everywhere. Has some huge vaults. Let's see what he comes up with today. Normally, he does a Dragoleski, which is a double front with a half twist.
That is too bad. That is a huge vault. You can just look at him and know that he is extremely powerful. Just came up a little bit short. Didn't get enough rotation off of his hands. Of course, put his hands down and jumped off the mat. So those will be significant deductions. Let's take another look. He has tremendous speed and power coming into the table. It can be difficult coming off this board. He gets rotation started, but if they don't keep the rotation right there coming off, you can see he just comes up short as he's turning. Oh, tried to hold on to it. It's too bad.
He has all the power in the world, but that time his technique a little bit off. Vernyayev, a 16.033 on parallel bars. The second score of 16 that we've seen today. Wittenberg, a disappointing 13.7 on one of his best events. When we come back, more action in the 4th rotation from China. Welcome back to China. The second most decorated gymnast in today's final is Fabian Hambuchen from Germany. He's 26 years of age, 3-time Olympian. He has 9 world and 2 Olympic medals. Last year at the World Championships, he got the bronze in the all-around. He had a rough day on the pommel horse here in Nanning, so he's working his way back up in contention. And he's good on parallel bars, and he's amazing on high bar.
His difficulty score qualifications was a 6.3. Upped that for the team finals to a 6.5.
He's coached by his father, former gymnast Wolfgang Hambuchen.
Strong routine. Finishing double pike, holding on to that landing.
Boy, there have been a lot of stuck landings in this all-around final. Impressive competition throughout.
Nice work here. You can see they are allowed to wear those arm pads. See those moves that they catch in their upper arm.
That looks like a pretty thin pad for such an abusive landing. I'd rather have a Kevlar pad. Incredible how tough these gymnasts are. Pound for pound, some of the toughest and strongest athletes in the world.
And you can see their fighters too, holding on to that landing. It's always amazing. 6 events, he had that mistake on the pommel horse, but it's not over till it's over, and he's fighting back.
So he had a 13.466 on horse, but he has a nice 15.433 on parallel bars. Ucimar Calvo having an outstanding competition. It's up on the floor now, the 20-year-old Pan American Games all-around champion. Great start, 3.5 twister.
Coming right back with a front twisting combination. It's always amazing. You see these athletes, they can perform a variety of different skills, and they make smart choices based on the competition. Play it safe sometimes to qualify, add in the difficulty in the finals. Oh, little struggle there.
Of course, every event has 5 event requirements the judges are looking for, and that handstand fulfills one of those requirements, which is considered a non-acrobatic element, but he botched it a little bit.
See a little off-center there on that tumbling pass, but stayed in the lines.
Him glance over to look at the clock to make sure he has enough time to finish his routine.
Finished triple full there, a little stumbly on the landing. They have all that packed into 1 minute and 10 seconds, so wants to use every second he could.
Max Whitlock having a terrific competition. We saw him with that outstanding vault in the last rotation. Let's see what he can do on parallel bars. Now, this is the event where he probably doesn't have the highest degree of difficulty or execution. In fact, for the British team, he did not compete in the team final on parallel bars.
So at this point, his goal is to be as clean with what he has. When you don't have the difficulty, you go big on execution. Qualification round, he scored a 14.866.
She's just one of 2 gymnasts today to score over 16. He scored a 16 even on pommel horse. Oh, nice.
Good for him. Like you mentioned, that's not going to be a huge score for him, but that's probably going to better his marks from the qualification round, and that's all he can do at this point.
Take a look at the score for Calvo on floor exercise. 14-2, his lowest score of the day. So his standing on that podium is looking a little shaky at this point. Max Whitlock, 14.975, improved over his qualifying score. Dong Shudi will now go to the vault. There's a 6.0 start value on his vault. And the score for Dong Shudi, a solid 15.2, puts him in 7th place in the all-around currently. And when we come back to China, the athletes will move to the 5th of 6 rotations. And we'll come back to Nanning. Let's take a look at the standings. After the 4th rotation, Uchimura in the lead, but by just 0.6 of a point over Oleg Vernyayev, who had that amazing 16.033 on parallel bars. Max Whitlock from Great Britain currently in third position. And you see the rest of the athletes competing in today's final. We begin the 5th of 6 rotations now. You see American Sam Mikulak currently in 17th place. Final warm-up preparation as we get set for this rotation where Vernyayev now moves to the high bar.
This is a great event for him, but we've seen him have some struggles. In fact, at the 2013 Worlds, it was disastrous on this event. Scored under 12.
Yeah, he had a complete meltdown a year ago in this very situation. Let's see what he can do now.
Nice combination there to the release.
Nice. It's interesting, as good of a meet as Uchimura is having, Vernyayev is only 0.6 of a point behind, and he had a botched landing on his ring dismount.
Finishing dismount. Big hot back there, but he's happy with it. Stayed on his feet. It's a big deal right there, because no matter what kind of athlete you are, when you've made a mistake in this situation before, it's always in the back of your mind. He came out confident.
His high degree of start value is serving him well. If you add up his start values versus Uchimura's, he has a 0.4 of a point advantage. But what's holding Uchimura where he is right now is not only his clean execution, but once again, it's those stuck landings.
That's right. When you talk about 6.10s, it's 2 steps. And so far, he hasn't given a single deduction on a step on any one landing. And now he's up on the P-bars. This is the one event he did not compete on in the team finals, which was shocking to us.
It was, because he is currently the world champion on this event. But 3 other gymnasts on his team were selected to compete in the team final.
A little short there.
Short.
And we mentioned, like you said, there were 3 other athletes that are capable of scoring higher than him on this event on the Japanese team. But what he has going for him is consistency. Not a perfect routine, but he holds it together. And, oh, slight hop there.
Actually, I'm relieved to find out that the guy is actually a human. That is amazing. Stuck every landing till this point. He looks like the fatigue might be getting to him just a little bit here. He's got one event to go, of course, the thrilling high bar. Does Uchimura have enough gas to get through?
Well, this wasn't a perfect routine, but this is still going to be a strong score. We talk about any score that gets into the 15s is definitely strong. At a 6.5 in difficulty, so gave up a little bit in execution. Slight hop there. But once again, pretty consistent.
Vernyayev, 14.466. On high bar, he'll finish on the floor exercise in his final rotation, where Uchimura gets another score over 15. This is a 15.2 on parallel bars. He'll hold on to the top spot in the all-around. Tanaka now to the parallel bars. Tanaka qualified for P-bar finals, has a 6.6 start value, scored a 15.7 in qualifying. He's one of the few gymnasts here that in terms of technique and execution.
In the qualification, he had the third highest score with that 15.7. He is capable of scoring in the 9s on the execution score in this event.
Oh, I love
Beautiful.
that. The low bar work. Those are called peach baskets. Why? I have no idea. But the underbar work is masterful.
Beautiful double pike.
Oh.
Outstanding. They have just been so fun to watch, routine after routine, near perfection.
Yeah, this is just a masterful performance. Look at the execution. Perfect form. Body line is exquisite.
And there again, a beautiful landing.
And a 15.883 for Tanaka on parallel bars. Don't go away. It's the men's all-around final at the World Gymnastics Championships. O'Connor along with Amanda Borden. Action continues now in the 5th rotation as Max Whitlock, who's having one terrific competition, takes to the high bar.
He has been so fun to watch. Nice. Releasing the bar.
Two bronze medals at the Olympics 2 years ago in London. Of course, the team from Great Britain, much improved. Once it was announced that the Olympics were coming to England, the British government poured a lot of money into Olympic sports, and it has really improved the level of gymnastics that we've seen from both the men and the women from Great Britain over the last few years.
Well, he just put up another strong routine. 5 up, and 5 have been great. He has 1 event left.
And it'll be one of his best. He'll finish on the floor exercise.
Nice work throughout this routine. Strong combinations.
I think he had to fight through a little bit on this routine. It didn't come easily to him. Those turns not finishing as close to handstand as he would like.
His difficulty score on this event is right around a 6.4.
You can see him a little bit out of line on that full Takamoto.
Right, and then a little bit of form execution. His feet. Nice position here on the dismount. Spotting the ground.
I never did a layout double-double off high bar. It looks like it'd be fun.
I think the whole event looks fun, but it is very difficult. Have to be very precise.
Got 4, yeah.
14.2, his lowest score today, but he got through adequately. He'll move on to floor, his final rotation where he excels. Speaking of excelling on floor, here is Sergio Sasaki of Brazil. This guy is powerful.
Huge double hike front in combination. That is not easy to do. It's a blind landing, so you don't really know where the floor is. Can be difficult on the combination, but comes right back front tumbling. Obviously not a problem for him. And a side pass of a double-double.
Qualified in 14th into this all-around final. As I mentioned, with the Olympics just 2 years away in Brazil, high expectations for medals. Of course, they have an Olympic gold medalist in Zanetti, who won the gold on the rings in London. A lot of people expect Sasaki to contend for an all-around medal as well.
What a big deal.
Oh!
Wow. Not too often that we see a landing mistake on that kind of tumbling pass. Finishing it out right there, half in, half out. Looks like his foot just slipped a little bit. A little too much momentum on that pass. But you mentioned the 2016 Olympics, and no better feeling than being able to perform in front of your hometown crowd.
I think we both know that well. I, of course, was in the LA Olympics in '84, and you were in the '96 Olympics in Atlanta, and we certainly enjoyed having that home court advantage, didn't we both?
That's right. You can see he had outstanding tumbling throughout this routine. Nice positioning in the air. Tremendous power. Combination work. Fighting for those details. Just had that one little stumble on that pass.
Dong Shudi will be on parallel bars, where he has an extremely difficult routine. 7.1 was his start value in the qualification round. As I mentioned, he has an advantage over King Kohei Uchimura in terms of start value of 1.1 when you add up start values on all events.
Nice work.
He does those pike double somersaults. He's done 2 already from different positions, and he's not done. There's one more there. 3 pike double somersaults in that routine. That's where he racks up the difficulty points.
Is he fighting for those handstand positions?
This is the move he botched a little bit.
Right there, he bent his
Team
arms and
competition.
collapsed. No problem, though. Finishing it out, double pike. Feels good about that.
I'm just in awe of the amount of difficulty that he can pack into that routine. Sasaki 14.966. Gave up a couple of tenths on that one landing on the layout Thomas. Belyavsky now from Russia. Typically has a 6.6 start value on parallel bars. Had a 15.133 in the qualification, but struggled in the team final at only a 14.366.
Nice work across. It's like he lost his body position just a little bit. Nice sharp swing. Very important, all these elements. Finishing that vertical position, finishing double front half. Another clean, consistent routine for him.
Hoping to improve upon his 12th place finish at last year's World Championships in the all-around. Currently in 4th place at these championships. Let's see what score he comes up with there. And the score 15.366 will move Belyavsky into 3rd place with one event to go. Don't go away. We're getting set for the 6th and final rotation here at the World Championships. Uchimura has a lead of a little bit more than 1.2. And notice this, the next 6 gymnasts all separated by just 0.5 of a point. So a lot up for grabs as all the athletes move to their final rotations here at the World Championships. This is going to be fun. Tanaka will be up on the high bar. In qualification, he went for a start value of 7.2. He had a 7.0 start value in the team final. And like Uchimura, he has clean execution throughout today.
We knew this competition was going to be fun to watch. We love it when it comes down to this last event. Pressure's on. Big skills.
He's currently in 5th place in the all-around, but as I mentioned, 6 gymnasts all nearly in a deadlock as we get into this last rotation.
Well, the one thing that I'm pretty confident in is the consistency of both of the Japanese athletes. We have seen it 3 days in a row. Beautiful turning work. Finishing it out.
Nice.
Huge. Double twisting lamp. Celebrating a little too soon. Well deserved. What a great competition for Tanaka.
Such a clean routine. He will certainly be rewarded for showing exceptional form, even in those highly risky moves, like that full twisting double over the bar known as a Cassina.
Well, we see
invented by the Italian gymnast.
We've seen a lot of big skills, but if you watch closely, his feet never come apart. That is very difficult to do, especially on all those turning elements, high flying elements. And this is where they have impressed us the most, is their clean landings.
15.5.
Wow, that's the highest score we've seen on the high bar this far.
And it's his best effort ever of these championships on high bar. Nicely done. So he has set the mark to beat. Now coming into this final rotation, Max Whitlock was in 4th place. Let's see what he can do on one of his best events, the floor.
Well, ironically, this was the event that he made mistakes on in the qualification, which is why he missed qualifying. But remember, he was subbed in.
Wow. The air flare. He was 4th in last year's World Championships in the all-around, earned a silver medal on the pommel horse. Remember, he was the gymnast who scored 16 on pommel horse in the early rounds of this competition. He has just been there all day long.
Nice combination work there, solid landing.
What an opportunity for the gymnast who was a reserve.
So exciting, finishing their triple full. He had 6 events that were some of his best routines today, but in the all-around competition, we all know it comes down to consistency, and that is what he's done. He started the competition out with that big 16.0 on the pommel horse, but he stayed consistent throughout this competition, finishing with his best event and really fighting for every single detail.
He's a last-minute replacement, as we mentioned, for his teammate Niall Wilson, who has a wrist injury, although Wilson intends to compete in the high bar final later this week in Nanning. Wouldn't that be a story if Whitlock comes in as a last-minute replacement and does well enough to earn a medal for Great Britain?
Well, he definitely made the most of this situation. Like I said, put up 6 phenomenal routines and another big score.
15.466.
Wow, that was just behind Uchimura's floor score.
That moves him into 1st place currently. Dong Shidi now from China will move to the high bar. Shudi was in 7th coming into this final rotation. But once again, 6 gymnasts behind Uchimura, all packed in within a half a point of each other.
His difficulty score is a 6.9. Big release. execution there. See his feet just coming apart a little bit. The hardest thing when you add that level of difficulty is holding on to the execution.
That just shows you how great the Japanese gymnasts are, because they do that level of difficulty with cleaner form.
Winding up.
Oh! Wow, drilled it.
These gymnasts are putting on a show for these fans. My goodness.
Very enthusiastic crowds in the Guangxi Sports Center, and they're getting quite a show.
That's right. They're seeing some of the best gymnastics in the world, and it's not just being done well, it's being done almost perfect. Some small execution errors in this routine, but he had the high level of difficulty, and I am absolutely loving watching these gymnasts fight for these perfect landings.
There were several times in the exercise where his feet separated a little bit. The deduction can be from 1/10 of a point, sometimes up to as much as 3/10 of a point, depending on how far the legs separate. Beautiful pirouette to the top of the handstand on that full Takamoto.
Here is what the crowd loves right here. A big dismount to a perfect landing.
All right, exciting gymnastics, and the best yet to come. Don't go away from Nanning, China. And the score for Dong Shidi, 14-8-3-3. This one's going to come down to the final gymnast in the final rotation. That's coming up. And the drama continues here at the men's all-around final from Nanning, China. Ready now for the final performers in this incredible final competition. Sasaki now from Brazil up on pommel horse, which is not his best event. So he'll need to be very clean if he hopes to finish on the podium here.
He is known for his power events, floor and vault.
When you look at his physique, he's built like a tumbler and a vaulter. A little bit thicker in the lower body, which is great for those events, but sometimes a disadvantage on an event like the pommel horse. He was in 6th place coming into this final rotation.
Holding on. Oh, nice job. He's excited about his day, and you know that's really important to improve each routine. We get to see him in the vault finals as well.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Exciting stuff there.
Competing in his 4th World Championships, the 23-year-old from Brazil. Now, Beliavsky from Russia, coming into this final rotation, sitting in 3rd place. He'll need to be very clean here because he doesn't have the same degree of difficulty as some of the other gymnasts.
Huge Tkachev. Very nice, changing the grip. Some catches. The qualification round. His execution score was an 8.466. That's where he can make improvements.
A little bobble there at that hop full pirouette. The crowd always enjoys those. They're called German giant swings.
Finishing clean dismount. Slight hop.
Boy, every 10th of a point is going to matter. Keep in mind, 6 gymnasts all separated by a half a point coming into this final performance. Was it enough to keep Beliavsky in a podium finish? Sasaki currently in 4th place, a respectable job for him.
Well, this was a nice routine. Big release move to start the routine. Great view. how detailed they are as they catch the bar right here. Crossing over. Nicely done. He did have that stumble in the middle of the routine. He scored a 14.866 in the qualification round, which qualified him to the event finals on the high bar.
I do love that his execution is so clean throughout. But every 10th of a point is going to matter, especially in this all-around final where they're so close. 14.4, 89.765 will put him in third place currently. Although there are a couple guys yet to go, including Vernyayev, who is sitting in second place as he comes to the floor exercise, which is a terrific event for him. Remember, he had a botched landing on the still rings earlier in this competition. Let's see what he can do here.
Double-double. Oh! Wow, had he just stayed in the diagonal, he would have stayed inbounds. That'll be 1/10 of a deduction, and like we've been saying, and another stumble there. Every 10th is going to matter at this point. His difficulty score on this event is a 6.5.
Last year at the World Championships, he ended up 15th, and we documented that he had disastrous performance on the high bar. These little botched landings costing him precious tenths of a point here in the final rotation.
The hard part on this event is you get the deduction for the step along with the out of bounds deduction, so that's up to 4/10 right there. Finishing triple full, no problem on that landing.
Max Whitlock and Tanaka will be eager to see the score for Vernyayev. Was it enough to keep him on the podium?
This was a big tumbling pass, double-double, but watch this. Steps right out of bounds there. Had he just tumbled straight, that wouldn't have been a problem. Of course, like I mentioned, that'll be approximately 4/10 of a deduction, but finished up here. Chest was down on the triple full, but he nailed the landing.
Great job.
14.833. That puts him in third place, but Uchimura has to go. So that means if Uchimura hits, Vernyayev will finish off the podium. You can see the score that Uchimura needs. It should be effortless, but remember, folks, he's going for his 5th consecutive world all-around gold medal, and they get harder each time, no question about it. Great pressure.
Huge release. Watch his form. Every single element. Big combination there.
Sweet. Great rhythm.
This is the one event we will see him in the individual event finals as well, which would be very exciting as he wraps it up for his dismount. Double-double.
That will do it, folks. Uchimura will get his 5th consecutive all-around gold medal, without a doubt.
So fun to watch. 6 amazing routines, but he was consistent across the board and well respected by every athlete in this building.
You know, his first name fittingly means peaceful flight. And he's all about beautiful movement, high degree of difficulty. And he is a mental giant to handle the pressure with enormous expectations. 15.233. Uchimura will repeat as the world all-around champion.
It's good.
Folks, we're looking at maybe one of the greatest in the history of the sport. Max Whitlock, who came in as a last-minute replacement for Great Britain, will get the silver medal. And Yasuki Tanaka will earn another medal for Japan. He gets the bronze. And you can see he's very happy about that. Oleg Vernyayev, those botched landings on floor exercise cost him. He will finish off the podium in 4th place. Wow, what a competition. When we come back to Nanning, we'll wrap it up with the final results. Don't go away. Welcome back to Nanning, China. I'm Bart Conner along with Amanda Borden. What a competition today. Kohei Uchimura crowned once again his 5th consecutive world gold medal. Max Whitlock, what an amazing story. Comes in as a last-minute replacement for Great Britain, gets the silver. Tanaka from Japan gets the bronze. For the United States, Sam Mikulak, 12th place in the all-around. And young Daniel Wittenberg finishes 17th place, and certainly a valuable experience for that young man who has enormous potential. And of course, Wittenberg and Mikulak will go home with cherished bronze medals for the U.S. in the team competition. But the performance of the day, brought to you by International Gymnastics Camp, goes to Max Whitlock. The last-minute replacement steps in to compete and scores a 16, a rare 16 on the pommel horse, which set him in good standing to contend for an all-around medal. And he earns only the 2nd all-around medal for Great Britain in the history of their program. The first was won in 2009 by Daniel Keating, also a silver. Max Whitlock, the International Gymnastics Camp performance of the day. But it's King Kohei who continues to reign. 5-time world champion. He's the reigning Olympic all-around champion. And he adds his 15th world medal to his trophy case. Undefeated, going all the way back to 2008. What more can you say about the current king of the sport? Kohei Uchimura. Tanaka was clean throughout, great execution.
Well, he had a big day. He was consistent across all of his events, but he closed the deal on the last event, the high bar. You can see his vault right here, beautiful form throughout, but this was the routine, the highest score on this event in the competition that sealed the deal for the bronze medal. He was thrilled with it. And of course, Max Whitlock finished up on the floor exercise. Like you mentioned, he started big, but he was strong throughout, showing consistency across all the events. And I have to say, what a way to come in as that replacement and make the most of the situation. He looked like he was having a great time. He was confident. And most importantly, he put up beautiful routines. Solid throughout there with his triple twisting Yurchenko. Exciting to watch, but it was the king, undefeated, and an absolutely amazing athlete to watch in all the events. We talked about the importance of his landings. It started on the floor exercise, every single tumbling pass, but he carried it across all the events, including this one, very difficult vault. In fact, we said it, we think he even impressed himself with those landings today.
There are your medalists, Uchimura, Whitlock, and Tanaka, gold, silver, and bronze. More exciting gymnastics from Nanning, China coming up this week with the women's individual all-around finals tomorrow and then 2 days of apparatus finals. For Amanda Borden, I'm Bart Conner. Great day of gymnastics. We're sure glad you joined us. So long from Nanning, China.
The series will start in the end of November 2014 in Stuttgart, Germany, then continue at the beginning of December.